get at your V2s and go bomb Iran. Some days you get at your V2. It's all part of God's plan. Well, if you want that peace, you can't keep quiet when there's a picture of you hanging out on an island. Some days you get at your V2s and go bomb Iran. Politicians and preachers get hard as a bone when you're talking holy wars, two birds, one stone. It's the same playbook as 2003. Looks familiar to you, looks familiar to me. Some days you get at your V2 and go bomb Iran. Some days you get at your V2. It's all part of God's plan. Well, bomb out of hell, every boy and every girl. Be the change in the regime you want to see in the world. Some days you get at your V2s and go bomb Iran. Upon a missile rode the Lord, roaring justice is the sword. He was a melting off the faces of the damned. You have heard of Noah's flood, that tale will pale against the flood. Pouring out and boiling in uranium sands. Don't you know atomic power is just God's celestial shower? There are those that He has chosen and those that He has not. There are many who will die in the Lord's plan by and by. But it won't be you or I, thanks to the great Caucasian God. And I said, Lord, be thou near me. Blot out everything that's changed to me, everything that's queer. I said, Lord, don't be far, for I am in need of a friend indeed, the great Caucasian God. Does not the Lord abide in Texas, down in Waco, and the rest of every Israel that hubris ever claimed? Does not the Lord abide in prisons full of men with holy visions? Don't the Lord abide in every tent and cave? Does not the Lord abide in bunkers and rifles without number, and every ruby ridge, written house and home? Does not the Lord abide in fear, in tactical gear? Don't the Lord abide in every hell-bent soul? And I said, Lord, be thou near me. Blot out everything that's changed to me, everything that's queer. I said, Lord, don't be far, for I am in need of a friend indeed, the great Caucasian God. Philadelphia, I'd like to take a moment to talk with y'all about death. There's a lot of folks that fear death coming quick and swift in the night, stealing away from them the toil of their hands and the fruits of their labor. But I say unto you today that there ain't a crueler trick that death has ever played on a man than to fool a man into thinking that while his soul was indeed dead on the inside, he was in fact alive on the outside. There is a foolish generation squandered all their fathers gave them. They are running out of time left to enjoy. They would kill and eat their own if the TV told them so. So they're keen to watch the world burn just to prove a point. And they say, Lord, be thou near me. Blot out everything that's changed to me, everything that's queer. They say, Lord, don't be far, for they are in need of a friend indeed, the great Caucasian God. Well, I am in need of a friend indeed, the great Caucasian God.
We're in need. Man, what can I say? We're in need. Jesse's pretty good, man. He's got a little something. He's doing all right, man. He's doing all right. Yeah. What are you gonna do, man? It's over the line, baby. All right. What the hell is going on, man? What the hell is this shit, bro? What the? All right. Fixing the optical distortion, flat Earth from space, man. Flat Earth from space.
Buckle up.
You watched this yesterday? I don't know. I just saw it came up. Thought I'd share it, talk about it, and see what's going on. Buckle up, man. He said buckle up.
Up, everyone. We are going to defeat NASA's optical lies and reveal the wondrous flat Earth from space.
Fucking right on.
The truth will not be suppressed. Let's have a look at the gateway to astronaut photography of Earth. This website
That's the cupola. The cupola. All right.
It is a gold mine. So many photos and high resolution too. Let's browse and I'll show you what I mean. Let's go ahead and click on the collections.
Fucking globy kids. Globe fucking tards.
Show you what I mean. Let's go ahead and click on the collections and then time lapse. And here we have some filter parameters. Let's go with 2025. There's a lot more data sets. And we can choose day or night or day, night. I'm gonna go with day. And let's filter. Now let's scroll. There's probably hundreds or more
The bendy solar panels. Exactly.
file sets, and each has hundreds of photos, if not thousands, especially for the longer tracks, as you can see. So let's go ahead and pick this one on December 16th as an example. So now there's all the photos cataloged. We can see the focal length, so much information, and these are huge photos taken with
Huge.
the Nikon Z9. See, we
The Nikon Z9? The Z9. Not the P, baby. The Z. Z9.
taken with the Nikon Z9. See, we get some information, 21 millimeter focal length, camera information. Let's click on metadata. And here we go. Yeah, we have the metadata. We can see some of the parameters. You know, the astronauts, I think, need
Zern 9. Exactly.
some training on how to set the camera properly, because they have the parameters kind of wonky, you know. The shutter is too high, aperture, and it's a little bit dark. But anyway, we can download the raw image, and we can also hover and see the data. Look how noisy it is. They have the ISO turned
It's pretty
up.
noisy, bro.
Yeah, these guys need to have a class in photography. So
Yeah, they need a class in photography.
here's the photo I downloaded. Very noisy and dark. Yeah, they did not set the parameters correctly. But at first glance, you may think this is normal. Look, the solar panels are straight, the space, the Earth is a globe.
Yeah, smash that like button, like, subscribe, or don't. Richie from Boston.
Praise the Lord. But hold on a second. Don't get ahead of yourself. Because we are dealing with some incredible optical distortion, as you can see here. The solar panels are straight, yet they're curved, almost the same as...
There's some bendy solar panels. Some bendy, some crunchy solar panels. That's crunchy.
That's the horizon. Isn't that incredible? This is a dead giveaway that we're dealing with the fisheye lens phenomena. So
That's a dead balls giveaway. Dead balls.
we're dealing with the fisheye lens phenomena. So let's have a look at the optical distortion zones.
Far out, man. The optical distortion zones, man. Let's have a look.
So let's have a look at the optical distortion zones. This graphic illustrates what we're dealing with. We have the camera, and then there is certain lens distortions, right? Usually they're corrected, etc. But for fisheye lenses, we need to understand what kind of image that produces and what the equations are. Then we're looking through the cupola window. And again, distance away matters, what angle, what attitude we have to that window, etc. And then finally, we're dealing with the refraction in the space environment, and plasma and the temperature gradients do affect what we see. So very complex environment. When it comes to fisheye lenses, there's some mathematics we need to be aware of. And don't worry, there's plenty of tutorials online, and I'll have a link for you. And there's also Python modules written for all this, so you don't have to wade in all the details. And last but not least, we have to think about perspective. Can we replicate what these astronauts are seeing? And here I just grabbed 4 images off the internet with some women astronauts, and there's Chris Cassidy, Navy SEAL, engineer. Very interesting careers that these people have. Samantha Cristoforetti, oh, I love that name. She's an Italian Air Force pilot and engineer.
Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
Engineer. Very interesting careers that these people have. Samantha Cristoforetti, oh, I love that name. She's an Italian Air Force pilot and engineer. Lots of military folks. But Karen Nyberg has a PhD, no military experience, just a smart gal, made it into space.
She made it into space, man. Far out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's a graphic trying to illustrate angles. Depending on how far away you sit from your TV, you may or may not get a proper perspective. And so I set out to actually correct some of these photos and try to produce very pleasing, accurate perspectives brought to your desktop or your TVs in the living room.
Fucking A, man. Far out. Okay.
Okay, so now let's have a look at this Python graphical user interface app I wrote. Oh.
Damn. JTolan's busy. We're writing apps. Okay.
Okay. I'm primarily using the computer vision 2 module in Python, and I put some field boxes, they're text boxes and labels, so I can rapidly test different parameters. And this is work in progress. This is version 1, and I'll release this eventually, but I'm gonna
Totally legit, bro. 100%, man. Yeah. LeBron James, man.
work in progress. This is version 1, and I'll release this eventually, but I'm gonna build in a batch file processing capability so I can run over many files and create a time lapse, a corrected time lapse. But anyway, this has made it possible for me to correct the photos And I also processed them a little bit in Photoshop because they're too large, like 8,000 by 5,000 pixels. So here you see I've reduced it to 4,000. And so accordingly, I reduced the pixels per millimeter as well, but keep the focal length. I can shift slightly, and I have the distortion parameters and the K2 parameters. Now, here's a question. Should the horizon be linear?
Well, sometimes you see stars. Yeah, like little polka dots and everything everywhere. Yeah, we send those mongos. Yeah, we don't. Not going to send athletes. They're mongos too, but you could send somebody like you. It could have, at least you're funny. Fuck something. They're not even funny.
Now, here's a question. Should the horizon be linear? Well, let's do a simple verification here. So I corrected this image based on the focal length and all that. And now I drew this line between some features which we can measure on a map. Okay?
Hey, that's right by my house, man. I live really close to the Salton Sea. 100 miles, roughly. About 100. There's San Gorgonio, San Jacinto. This Baja California, man. Get some good tacos. And the Gulf of California, man. Far out. That's cool. Salton Sea, man. It's teeny looking in this picture.
So we have the San Gorgonio Mountains. We barely touch the salt.
It's like covered in smoke, man. It's just barreling out, man.
We have the San Gorgonio Mountains. We barely touch the Salton Sea on the western shore there. And then we go into the Gulf of California to that point. So now let's have a look at a map. Okay, so here's the map, so you can have confidence that indeed these features are all in a...
I live over here, man, near Long Beach. I call it Wrong Beach, but anyway. Get right in there somewhere. Right around there. So yeah, it's not that far. You can see it's not far. Yeah.
Straight line. But you may be wondering, wait a second, on a fisheye image, lines that pass through the center will not be bent.
Totally doxed myself. There's only like 4 or 5 million people live there. It's not. You'll find me. Just keep looking. Just keep looking, man.
Image, lines that pass through the center will not be bent. And so I've chosen another location to illustrate that when we correct for straight lines on the ground, the horizon comes out straight as well. So here we are. This is in Iraq, and you can see the curved line. And here it is corrected. Now let's look at the map.
Closest fast food to my house. Closest fast food. Probably like there's a Subway a little closer. Yeah, I'd say Subway is the closest. It's like a mile, a little less than a mile, maybe. Not far. I don't eat there, but there's an In-N-Out about 1.5 miles. No Arby's near me. No. I ate Arby's decades ago, man. Got sick. I never went back. They lost me. 1.5 miles, there's McDonald's, Taco Bell. Jack and the Crack. They had a Burger King. It wasn't far, but it closed. Now it's like, yeah, In-N-Out, 1.5. You got In-N-Out out there, man? I don't think you do. I don't think you got In-N-Out. Anyway, talking fast food here. I'll eat In-N-Out. That's probably the only fast food I like, really. It's pretty fresh stuff, man. It tastes good. All right, back to the. What are we doing? So, this is in Iraq. He was saying what? What was he saying?
So here we are. This is in Iraq, and you can see the curved line. And here it is corrected. Now let's look at the map. So here I'm using the measurement tool to lay down a line starting over where the Al-Kabor River flows into the Euphrates River. And then on number 2 we have Haditha Dam, and then we barely touch Thurfall Lake, can barely pronounce that. And then right over to the western shore in Iran. So this is just incredible, folks. When we correct for features on the ground, we obtain a flat horizon. Isn't that incredible?
Dude, it's too easy, bro. It's so easy. I love it. I love it, man. I love it. Good video, Jay. Thank you, brother.
So we can have confidence that indeed the horizon should appear flat. There you have it, folks. The Earth is incredibly flat. Don't you ever forget that.
Yeah, I'm shocked, man. I'm totally blown away, man. Thanks for watching, man. Thanks for hanging out, man. I appreciate it, man. I don't know if I have anything else to share, but maybe. I don't know. Let me check, man. Hold on, man. Let's see if I got something, man. It might pop up. Who knows? Something might pop up. All right. Let's do Alexander. Not so great. I'm shocked, dude, man. I'm so piffed. Piffed. Diz. I'm piffed, man. Get piffed, bro. Let's do
this
it.
16 terabytes
All right,
portable
you guys
solid
get
state
16
drive, which
terabytes.
costs
You
over
know, you guys get the backup terabytes. And lots of terabytes. You got some terabytes. Well, that was cool. I really enjoyed that. That was about as I like it. It was short, simple, right to the point. The visuals were really good. He explained it well. And yeah, it was pretty good. All right.
Talking about Alexander the Great ? Because he very well just may be another fiction in the tapestry that is our written history. So let's have a look. Now, we're told that he served as king of Macedonia from 336 to 323 before Christ. And again, none of these empires were using this dating system, so we just have to rely on whoever put our history together. During his reign, he united Greece and reestablished the Corinthian League and conquered the Persian Empire. And they give us some very specific details about when he was born and when he died down to the day. So that's anybody's best guess as to if that's accurate. We're told that he expanded his empire all the way down pretty much into the borders of India. And what's of interest to me is that we're told that during his adventures and his wars, he also ventured into...
Yeah, I've heard that before, Zern. Yeah, that whole Shakespeare thing was a bit of a cuck move, and Francis Bacon, yeah, they had like a team of Mongos writing all that shit. That's what I heard. Yeah, but you know,
present day.
Probably, man. Everything else is fake. Fuck, they fake the fucking globe, man. Or else they fake everything. Fucking Mongos.
Adventures in his wars, he also ventured into present-day Afghanistan, the northern part of Afghanistan. And why that's interesting to me is because there is a site where a city, a lost Greek city, was rediscovered in the 1960s. And the Uzbek name for the city is Al-Qanum. I don't know if I've got that pronunciation right, but it was this, we're told, this ancient Greek city that was lost to the desert for nearly 2,000 years and rediscovered in the 1960s. And what is of note to me, and this is an image of these excavations in the 60s, but at some point, it's unknown when the inhabitants left the city, but the city was covered by more than 2.5 meters of soil at some point. So we're talking
mud flood. Or just sand. Yeah. A lot of sand buried. Dig it out, man. Let's dig it out, boys. Let's get busy, man. Hold on. We're on lunch. Lunchtime, bro. Hold on.
A little over 8 feet of soil. But I think it was this apocalypse.
Oh, shit. Look at the ruins. Everywhere. It's all... You got 8, 10 feet, 12 feet of stuff to dig through, man.
Event that took out what we call the Roman Empire that also buried this site. And again, why do I think that? Because when you look at the remnants of this site, this lost city, it looks like 80% of it disappeared, actually. Like what's left is the bottom 20%. So it's almost...
Yeah, it looks like a lot of it. This is just like the bottom, yeah. Interesting.
It's like it disappeared. It's not just buried in totality. Most of it's gone. And what's left is the bottom portions of this city. And you can just see remnants of massive columns. And what's of interest is this city is not recorded in any history officially. And they don't even really know its Greek name. It's still a mystery what its Greek name was. So the name that was given to it, again, it's a local name meaning moon princess. So a lot of question marks. And what I wanted to point out is that a description of this city was also that it appears to have been torched by the nomads in 160 BC. So I think during this event, which again, I think is this apocalypse, which I think is the second coming of Jesus in our past. But there was a destructive fire in some places as well. And that's what I think happened. But that's my opinion. And just some more images from this site. So again, does this disprove the conquests of Alexander the Great? It doesn't. But I think some of this destruction is because of this event. And another element is the coinage of Alexander the Great and even after him, because when you look into the coins that were minted during his life, they're not actually depicting Alexander the Great. They depict Hercules or Heracles, another way to say Hercules. So all these pictures on these coins are actually Hercules. And you can find many articles talking about, is it really Alexander or is it just Hercules? And you find this even amongst Roman coins. Instead of Alexander the Great, they feature Hercules. And even after Alexander the Great, you had this empire, we're told, the Seleucid Empire. And those emperors, they didn't put their own portrait on the coins. They again used Hercules. The coins that depict Alexander as Hercules continued to be used. So does this disprove this Alexander the Great narrative? No?
Yeah, it does for sure. Who is this Mongo? Alexander the Great. The Great. It's like Trump, the Great. Trump. His shits. He has his own coin. Never mind.
But we could be being told anything. And they're using these coins which depict Hercules, and they're just telling us this was from the time of Alexander the Great. So questionable, very questionable, but I'll leave it to you to come to your own conclusions. But What else I wanted to mention is a few hundred miles to the south of this lost city, there is this other site, and this site is the home of these giant Buddha statues. And I'm sure a lot of you have seen this image, but there's a couple things that I was unaware of, and maybe the same might hold true for you. And one of those things is that there were two of these statues, and I always thought there was just one. And the other element is that I didn't know that they were destroyed.
Yeah, they blew that shit up. I remember that. I'm like, those Mongos. What do you do that for? Fuckers. Yeah.
Actually, in 2001, the Taliban blew up both of these statues, actually. And I did not know that. Maybe you did. We're also told they were once covered in gems. Possibly, who knows? And the Western Buddha statue, we're told, was 55 meters tall. And this other one, the Eastern Buddha statue, 38 meters tall. So fairly tall. And we're told they were carved in the 6th and 7th centuries Common Era. Again, who knows? Were these even carved? Was this a structure at some point? And
yeah, it probably was a structure of some sort. I don't know. How are we going to know that shit for sure? But you know, if we get up here and climb in these rocks and find a bunch of stuff, I don't know. They probably won't let you climb up there. Anyway.
And this destructive apocalyptic event is actually the cause of why this site looks like this. I tend to think so, but these are my speculations. And yeah, so I just wanted to kind of share some of this with you guys, and that's all I got for you.
Well, thanks for sharing. I appreciate it. Make sure you like and subscribe, and you know, or don't. All right. Let me see what else I can find. Fucking watch. I don't know, man. What do I know? I don't know shit, man. Anyway, it's good hanging out with you guys. Just a bunch of Mongos out there, bro. Doing what they do, man. Yeah. A lot of Mongos, a lot of music, a lot of putting out shit, man. There was something. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, let's do my lunch break. Fuck it. Let's see what this Mongo's cocking up today. Love you, Kenny, but man, gotta lose the spooky music, bro. Lose the spooky music, bro. Come on.
What is going on in Little Rock, Arkansas? And who built this palace temple? The Albert Pike Memorial Temple in the United States of America, over 100 years ago. And why are they telling us that it was built in just 2 years? Beginning in 1922 and completing the palace in 1924. And why are these all the exact same dates, basically? May 11th, May 12th, and then May 7th. The building suffered significant fire damage, of course. The nod that we have pinned down. We know that this building really has an incredible backstory. One that we're not being told about, and this story that we're reading today is completely made up. And today I'm about to walk you through step by step exactly how this structure makes zero sense in our timeline that we live in, or the one that they've created. Today, I'm going to show the entire world that what we have been told since we started in their education system has all been a lie. This palace temple is now named after Albert Pike, a man that is quoted saying a few things.
Yeah.
You can see right here.
Just a couple.
Including if they need a hero, we'll provide one. If they need a war, we'll start one. If they need a disaster, we'll create one. Who in the world is we? What group is this guy a part of? And how does he have that much power to create wars and disasters and to give us heroes? Who is Albert Pike? And now I'm about to use their AI, ChatGPT, to fully expose their construction story when we ask it a very simple question. One that we all love so much. We all want to know, are there any original blueprints that are available for the public to see? A single drawing. The receipt to their entire story that they try to pass off as facts. And their AI, it just exposes their stupid fairy tale in a second. No original blueprints appear to be publicly available. Not a single blueprint for the Albert Pike Memorial Temple. There's no evidence that the full original construction plans are digitized or publicly posted. No records. Yet they can write all about these dates in May. They can tell us all about the cornerstones. They can tell us anything they want. But guess what? We all want the documents. Where are they? Why wouldn't these incredible blueprints be shown to the world? Where are the ledgers proving that they actually purchased materials? And since this building was privately funded, I asked the AI, what documents would have been required to be filed with the city of Little Rock at that time, prior to construction? They would have needed to file a building permit application, estimated construction cost, basic structural drawings for approval, fire and safety compliance details, which obviously they didn't do because we already know this place lit up in fire. And then there would need to be a property tax assessment after completion. Again, You can't just go around throwing palaces up in 2 years wherever you want. This is a 156,000 square foot palace, 3 stories, plus the basement that we know has tunnels. And you can't just do all this without telling the city and without actual documentation. We all know this. What's not documented online? All of these things that were supposed to be documented. The building permit, the architectural plan set, construction blueprints, all of the records and all of the ledgers. Nothing is documented with the city and publicly available online. So if you continue to ask questions, you will see that these stories are all based on zero facts. Let's ask a simple question. Are there any available records showing how much material was brought to the site to construct this thing that not one of our towns are ever building again today for some reason? Their AI answers no. There are no publicly available records online showing how much material was brought to the site during construction of the Albert Pike Memorial Temple. And if anybody here is somehow still on the fence, how did this 1952 supposed fire begin? How did this fire start? Publicly available historical summaries do not list a definitive cause or references. They simply state that a fire broke out and damaged the auditorium, causing a massive restoration project. There's the restoration again. They have no idea who or how a fire just lit the entire palace on fire. We all know that the fire ghost has just been going around the world, lighting palaces on fire, lighting old world buildings on fire, and nobody has any idea what this ghost's name is. No police department in the world can figure it out. It just picks out the most incredible looking buildings in the world. Stone and marble buildings. And then it just burns the whole thing to the ground. And we see this exact same thing all the time. Even today, at the St. Paul Catholic Church, Montreal, Canada, where the church was unoccupied when the fire broke out. And then nobody can figure it out. Nobody knows how the Palace Church just gets burned to the ground. And you can even switch over to Grok, over on X, and it'll tell you that the fire started on February 23rd, 2026, but the cause remains unknown. And of course, is still under investigation by authorities, and it will be forever. We all know this. Check this out. I posted this in June of 2024. And so let's bring it back up today. and see if there's any update from 2 years later. Surely there has to be some sort of update. Let's see what they say. Nobody was inside the unoccupied building. We have the exact same story. It's the same playbook. Nobody's in the building when the blaze just starts. No suspects have ever been identified as of February 2026. Now, we've seen this all over the world for years. We know that these fires are destruction projects. There's two options. This is how they burn these palaces down, especially the churches. First option for them is that they either can't figure out who burned the palace down, and it was the fire ghost just going from town to town. Or here's the other option that they like to do. It's burned down during a supposed restoration project, and it was all just an accident. So if you're listening right now and you hear this, if you live near a palace from the old world and you start to see them putting up scaffolding, just know that the building is now in trouble. The Albert Pike Memorial Temple was supposedly designed and constructed by George R. Mann and Eugene John Stern, partners in the firm of Mann and Stern, which we are about to expose to the entire world. Welcome to episode 169 of my lunch break. I hope you're all having a great day. And if you're new, welcome.
Welcome, Mongos.
We're on Patreon. Thanks, Mel here. EF News Timer. David Tork. Because they always pin more old world structures to these exact same characters, Mann and Stern.
What's up, Dex?
They're not just pinned to the Albert Pike Memorial Temple. They are also pinned to 17 other structures, including the Albert Pike Hotel, where we can see right here that Eugene John Stern, the man pinned to all of these palaces, we can read that there is no widely documented evidence that Eugene John Stern ever attended a formal university architecture program. A character that knows how to design palace after palace with no training at all. So we have a guy that is pinned to palaces as the architect, where he never took a single architecture class. And then, on top of that, there are no architectural records for the building. So we have to ask, where in the world is the proof? Oh, and how could I forget that we could all just imagine a palace. We could just close our eyes and think as hard as we can. We can just go right over to the local farm. We could grab a donkey to pull all the stone to the site, and massive columns are just gonna appear out of nowhere. And the city won't care one bit. They're gonna just let us do whatever we want as long as we name it the Albert Pike House. They're not gonna care if we file any documentation for approval. We're not gonna be bothering anybody. We're just gonna put a palace over here and then a palace over there, and we're gonna get them done in no time, 24 months or less, and they are gonna last forever. Until, of course, that fire ghost just decides it's time to come along and rip the entire thing to the ground. And this nonsense was just blindly accepted for so long. Decade after decade, these stupid stories were memorized in class. They still are by some people, which is shocking. But until our generation finally came around and we started asking questions and looking at these things logically, we finally realized that these stories are completely made up.
I think that looks like the one in Los Angeles that's gone. It's gone. It's fucking gone. Looks like the one. I don't know. Library. Yeah, it's a library.
Logically, we finally realized that these stories are completely made up. We finally all want to ask logical questions. Like, how in the world were they just knocking out palaces undocumented, all over the place in no time? From 1922 to 1927. 5 years. These untrained architects supposedly got 8 old world palaces done. 5 years. No training. When we open up more detail on these 8 structures, both bathhouses were knocked out in less than a year at the exact same time. While doing those 2 things, they were also getting the Albert Pike Memorial Temple done. Then the untrained master architect is throwing the Arlington Hotel together where the fire ghost totally destroyed the prior structure, of course. Reconstruction just begins shortly after that, we're told. No questions asked, it's all done in 1924. These buildings, these structures, they don't belong in our timeline at all. At the same exact time as all of these other structures, they're also in charge of the Little Rock Central High School. And I remember when my town had plans to just go build palace high schools in 2 years. Those were the days. I'll forever wonder, where in the world are all of our untrained palace high school architects? I just want one. Where are they? Never needing to produce a single load-bearing calculation, just to make sure that the structure just isn't gonna fall over out of nowhere. I know we all love it, and our basic box style is in style right now. Those 90-degree angles are great on the eye. They look amazing. But what I would do to see a donkey at work, never drinking any water, getting all of the stone to the site. How in the world could we ever thank Donkeys Incorporated enough? These are the palace builders of the past. A bunch of people that never took any credit. They didn't even get to have paved roads. They didn't need them. They just put it in 4-paw drive. In the winter blizzards, rain or shine, that job was gonna get done. Even with multiple projects going on at the exact same time. All over the world they would gallop. A great bunch. Thank you to all of our badge members. I asked their AI, are there any construction photos of this building being built? It replies saying yes, and shows me this picture. And if we all just close our eyes and imagine it, you are gonna be able to clearly see all of the stone being brought to the site. You'll be able to see all the people hard at work. You might even catch a donkey out of the corner of the picture. But then when you open up your eyes and you don't have your eyes shut anymore, the building is already done. Saying yes, there are construction photos, but then going on to say they're mostly from later periods, not necessarily during construction. So I replied, so no, there aren't. It fixes its answer. Correct. There are no publicly available construction photos for the Exchange building. Because guess what? In my opinion, they didn't build any of these buildings. These buildings are all found. They made up these stories, and they've clearly lied to all of us. During the same exact years, the Emmanuel Baptist Church just appears out of thin air. And I want you all to know something, that there has been a massive shift in the AI lately. It doesn't want to tell us the truth at all. It is 100% being programmed as we speak to lie to us. I believe that in the beginning, it was trying to gain all of our trust by telling us a lot of truth. It was being honest. And once most people that are using it found it to be helpful and trustworthy, I believe that's exactly when it's going to shift. And I believe that that time is right now. Because I asked it a simple question. I said, what's the address to the building that Stern built, the Emmanuel Baptist Church? It replies that it's located at 10th and Bishop, Little Rock, Arkansas. So I obviously searched that location. And we just go down to Street View, 10th and Bishop. You can see it right here. And then we scroll the camera around. There's no church here. So where did this church go? Because obviously it's not here anymore. And the AI just lied to us. So then when I switch over from ChatGPT over to Grok on X, in real time, I'm gonna show you that I believe we are now in an information war with the AI, because Grok tells all of us that the church was actually demolished shortly after the Congression sold the property and relocated in 2003. This building is gone forever. And these buildings that have been demolished, I want you to all understand something right now. They are going to begin to be suppressed, hidden, as if they were never here. These old world buildings, they are going to be gone from the search bar. Their pictures are going to be wiped out. I believe that our history...
Well, not only are they going to wipe the pictures out, but they're going to just replace them with this AI shit and say, yeah, this is, I mean, I've seen a million AI pictures now of old buildings and shit that's like, clearly it's AI. This looks, you know, legit. And I've stood next to some buildings that look just like that. But yeah, they just gonna replace it with AI, man. AI is gonna replace this shit. He's right, man. We're in this kind of an information AI war right now. I think he's on to something for sure.
They are going to be gone from the search bar. Their pictures are going to be wiped out. I believe that our history is clearly being manipulated as we speak. Deleted from history. The Emmanuel Baptist Church is being deleted from history right now. Gone. And then we have the Union County Courthouse. Remember, all of this was built from 1920 to 1927, supposedly. And this one just puts the cherry on the top of it all. An old world courthouse. Done in 1 year. That is so crazy and not even close to possible. And once you see this, you're not going to go back to not seeing it. You will forever remember the day that you learned that a guy with no construction training, no architectural training, no training at all, was just going around Arkansas, supposedly, building massive Greek revival style courthouses in a year. Undocumented. The old world. What an incredible topic. An incredible time to be alive right now. The truth is coming through. It's getting easier and easier for more people to see it. And what an incredible thing that we have. Thank you to the National Archives and Records Administration for the United States of America. A few months ago, they sent me the master list. And we all know that they have zero documentation regarding the construction for the publicly funded Union County Courthouse located in Little Rock, Arkansas, where I tell their AI, we want a yes or no answer. None of your nonsense. Do you see the Union County Courthouse, Little Rock, Arkansas on this list? It replies, no, it does not. And we are just getting started.
There you have it. Yeah, interesting. I like Kenny. He makes pretty good videos, you know. Makes you look at some shit occasionally. He's pretty good about that. Yeah. What else is going on, man? You guys got something? You guys got something we can watch? Something cool? Something fucking... I'm not going to get in trouble if I play it. You guys have anything? Maybe? Maybe not. Alright. Let's watch John Levy then. Fine. Let's do that.
Today the wind blew all day, a steady 50 miles an hour.
Let's do it together.
Remarkable.
Let's do
Though
this.
it's invisible, it's such a strong force. It's so impersonal in a way, and yet sometimes it feels really personal. Foolish, of course. You might still have things to do, and everything you do in the wind will feel 10 times harder. It's force, like waves of air, knock you around, making it difficult to drive, even. And I think that's a perfect metaphor for life. Most of the pressures that we feel are actually invisible. If you told somebody else about the pressure, they wouldn't notice it. Today we're going to look at some Sears catalog, actually. Sears. What the hell was Sears doing in 1915? I don't know anything. But let's have a look together. I thank you for being here this week. I love you all. God bless and welcome. Alright, what do we have here? Oh, Sears. Again, 1915. I watched a video on this, and there were no words. It was like a slideshow, and I appreciate it. I didn't know what to think then, and I don't know what to think now. Maybe you guys can add something. So here, Sears Roebuck is selling concrete machinery in 1915 and earlier even. And I was really excited. I love the old Sears catalogs and have wanted to make videos on them. And yet here, this one is exclusively devoted to concrete machinery. How fascinating. And not just ugly concrete, but what we would consider an old world block. And I like this. I like that they're telling us that it's not block right away, which I never thought it was. I always believed these old world buildings were like concretes or geopolymers or different blends. And it's very exciting. Even the mainstream is interested in the future of concrete, the reinventing of Roman cement, all these things. All these things interest everyone. Whether they're into the old world or not, for some it's just purely profit. But still, a lot of nice developments in this field. So what do they say? No experience is necessary to operate our machinery. The making of concrete building materials. So this whole book. This book, which we furnish free with our concrete machinery, tells you everything you need to know to successfully make concrete products. Furthermore, our experts will cheerfully answer any questions. Letters and pictures below demonstrate what inexperienced men have done. We receive a great many orders from our customers who already have this general information book and therefore furnish this book only when asked for. As a matter of economies, of course. If you wish a copy, please mention it in your order, and we'll include it free of charge. Cool. And here's an example. Some guy from Coon Rapids, Iowa wrote in and said, "The Wizard concrete block machine I got is entirely satisfactory. You'll find photographs of a house I built from blocks I made with the Wizard block machine." Okay. I don't know. I just don't know. Doesn't look new. And there's so much more to it, actually. I mean, the roof, the ground isn't even level. Again, I don't know. Here's another guy from Moscow, Idaho. "I am sending you photographs of a concrete block house I made with your Wizard concrete block machine. I'm disappointed in the photograph. It doesn't show the blocks as they are."
Yeah, that's a suspicious looking photo, man. It has a bit of a pencil drawing kind of quality to it. That don't look right, man. The shadows aren't right. So yeah, it's all off. It's not right. The roof is too smooth. Come on. Something's fucked up there, man.
The light was too bright in front of us. This house was built by my sons and I. We never worked in cement in any way. We made our own blocks and also laid them up. We haven't built our steps or walkways yet, as we are farmers and have other work to do. H.W. Mallory. Alright, here's H.J. Here is his house. I don't know. And really, the blockage is only the bottom half. And there's so many questions, like, where are you getting the mixture? Surely they're not shipping the mixture.
Where's the mix?
And maybe we'll get to that. Next page. Pause. So concrete machinery, block machines, automatic tile machines, caps, concrete brick machines, concrete mixers, molds, columns, piers, rails, balusters, chimneys, sewer pipe. Unbelievable. So you're ordering the kit to make all of these things. So the concrete blocks for this beautiful home were made on the Wizard concrete block machine. Here we go. And later we'll see even the columns. They even have kits or molds for the columns. But again, look up here. I mean, this is really fine work here. Like these kind of dragon scales as siding. This is no joke. The roof is the hardest thing to build. I mean, if somebody's gonna make all their own blocks, surely we're building a simpler roof. And look at the shape of even the blocks. The most complicated way to build. I mean, it's not just flush. And does it look brand new? I don't even know what to make of this. Again, coming from our research, trying to make sense of it. I mean, if you had the means to pour concrete, why wouldn't you just frame some molds and just pour the concrete directly into the molds? This almost seems like more work. As this book will be received by a great many, who have no experience in this line of work, we wish to say that all statements and figures given throughout this book are compiled from information given to us by experts in this line. So basically they're saying, we don't know. Experts told us this will work. And special care has been taken to avoid extravagant claims of any sort. Yeah, like you're going to order something in the mail and problem solved? I don't think so. I don't think anyone's building a house with this kit. It's a pretty sweet kit, actually, and I would really like one myself. So here they're explaining how much profit there is to be made in concrete. If you would only make them in your spare time, on rainy days or whenever it's possible, you'll make a profit. Here's why you should use concrete. So they're really trying to push it at the same time. Like they need to twist these people's arms. And yet that's BS. Like when we look at the old world, it's full of concrete and stone. Like you don't need to explain all of this. People know. People build with wood because it's cheaper. Here's another look at that house. Pretty awesome. And I don't know. What about the footer? Where is the footer? We immediately buried the footer with like 3 feet of dirt. Immediately. This brand new house. We can see the blockage goes down into the grass here. No footer to be seen. Look through this catalog carefully. You will find we handle a very complete line of concrete machinery and can supply you with almost anything you want. This just doesn't make sense to me. In this time period, patterns of our face plates are made direct from cut stone. About our prices, we sell the entire output of the largest cement machinery factory in the country. We ship all machines direct from this big factory and therefore save all unnecessary freight and handling expenses.
That's hilarious.
Here they're saying the average cost of a brick is 8 cents. A concrete block is 8 cents. A porch column, about 11 cents. And here we go. Here's our blend. The cost of making the concrete. The materials required are Portland cement, sand, and gravel, or crushed stone. Portland cement is usually packed and sold in sacks of 95 pounds. It's a pretty big sack. 4 sacks are considered a barrel. So there we go. That's what I wanted to know. So here they're telling you the ratio of Portland cement, the crushed stone, and sand. So what a pain in the ass. Again, we're talking about 1915. $2 a barrel for cement in this time. So very cumbersome. Doesn't make it any more simplistic in this time period. And here we go again. Look at this house. This does not look like a new house at all. I don't know. These people on the porch. Looks like brick chimneys. Just really pushing it. Home of Mr. Alfred Hendy in Panama, Nebraska, who is using our wizard block machine. He is well pleased with our machinery and has built a number of houses, which has given him perfect satisfaction. Read his letter below. Alfred. Okay. Build with concrete. And I love concrete, I should mention. This really appeals to me, even today. Here we go. One of the concrete block houses built by Mr. Lewis Kellogg of Columbia City, Indiana. Okay, Mr. Kellogg. I don't know why these houses don't look new to me. Something is just off. Let's look at Mr. Kellogg a little more carefully. There we go. Yeah, Mr. Kellogg and Mr. Sombrero here.
Mr. Sombrero.
Child.
Got the sombrero.
And here they are making blocks. There we go. They have made these blocks. Here we can see their other house. It's like 6 feet tall here. Lowrider. So, let's take a pause.
It's a fucking lowrider, man. Lowrider.
Okay. I don't know why I bought envelopes that you have to lick. I don't know why they sell them. Here we have concrete blocks adapted for all purposes. Even worse, I don't know why I licked over 20 of them. Products of our concrete machinery are being used for residences, churches, factories, shops, and others. Let's not read too much. Let's not be too serious here. What is really going on here? Come on. Here we go. This guy built this. That's what we're being told. With Sears equipment. This is really weird today. Really, really unexpected and mud flood windows weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does this make any sense?
Why the fuck you make a mud ramp? Dirt ramp? You're gonna make a dirt ramp? Yeah. Okay, bro. Yeah. Well, it's easy to get the wheelbarrow in there. You know, just roll it up in there. We'll add some steps later, bro. Yeah, we'll keep it. That's the construction.
Sense. This is in the Sears catalog. Oh, these guys just built this block house and they built a little woodshed next to it. Really?
The woodshed looks really old. Yeah.
Really though? I don't know. If I was Sears, I would say maybe this is not a good example. Maybe we'll leave this picture
Hey, man,
out.
it's
No,
not a good
never
example.
saw concrete before. He was successful in building. Here we go, just pushing the idea that you can be a complete moron in this time period, dig a basement out and start pouring these concrete blocks. Why are we turning this doorway into a door and a window? And this one up here as well. So is Sears part of the club? And I'm trying to be fair here, but I just think this sounds like a bunch of BS. These men are not building these homes. These homes look older, mud flooded, and they're just trying to sell this do-it-yourself idea. Maybe trying to sell the idea that, again, people were so hardworking and industrious. But really, nobody's ever heard of this. Why go to such lengths to write a BS book? I have proposed that a lot of our literature, and even things like this, may have been from not our early history, but the past people's early history, the ones that were wiped out. And we're rehashing their early history. And Sears may have been a company from the old world. And all these publications have been preserved, and the history may be legit. What is not legit is that this sprouted out of our early history. Again, you can't even ship things yet. They don't even have the post office. The post office, I think, was established in 1913. And just to show you a little rundown of that, I've asked the robot about this publication, and it verifies 1915 Sears Roebuck. Then I asked, how would one receive a purchased item in that time period? And it tells me in the early 1910s, the era when this wizard concrete machine catalog was published, receiving a heavy item like a block machine was a multi-stage process involving railroads and local hauling.
Yeah.
First they would ship it by railroad, and then they would drop it off at the railroad depot, wherever that was. Now you would have to go by horse and wagon to the railroad depot, and once at the station, heavy machinery was loaded onto the horse-drawn wagon for the final trip to the customer's home. And we can see that the U.S. mail was established in 1913. At that point, it became a little easier, but they only had an 11-pound weight limit, gradually increasing to 70 pounds. So what does that mean? It means that you can throw all this out the window. You're not getting Portland cement. You're not getting 200-pound machines delivered to you. And yet here is all of this. So here we go again. Concrete blocks for churches. So they're pushing this like people are building this using their equipment. Option C. Let me just throw it all out there. Are they just hoodwinking people? Just selling equipment that they know damn well people cannot use to replicate buildings like this? Look at this. On the left we have a church, 3 or 4 stories. Over on the right we have some kind of general store, 1910. Again, 1910. Earlier than this catalog. Earlier than the U.S. Postal Service's establishment. And this building, I'm sorry, this is not a brand new building. Look at these streets. So here they go on. It's just selling everything you could possibly use this machine for. Stucco plaster on concrete blocks. Here again, a home we're told is brand new. I mean, look at the windows. This window already busted and they've put some latticing on it. Here we actually do see some kind of what seems like foundation, but it doesn't make sense because there's a basement. So this is not the foundation. So it's a faux foundation. Here we can see a very modern house, actually, in this time period. This is 1915, and this looks like a 1960s home. And this is kind of what I was talking about. I mean, if you had the means to procure concrete, just build it like this. Why even bother turning them into individual blocks? But in this case, I think that they have just stuccoed over the blocks. I think that's what they're portraying. Over here we see a partially stuccoed upper half. But again, the mud flood windows. And this house does have a very clean look, a very new look with this stuccoing. It should be said that I think Sears is out of business now. Here again, a mud-flooded building. Here we have a 3-story building in Washington with the whole first floor buried. Really basic roof here, and looking like an old building. Looks like they've quite possibly just added this porch and this roof. And honestly, I think these houses are too nice. They're too nice for these people. These look like inherited homes, every single home having mud-flooded windows. We can see back here in Connecticut. Here, an image of them manufacturing these blocks. I've yet to see a real picture of somebody making them. And that's it. I mean, one block at a time here. But it's a pretty sweet machine, actually. I'll show you in a minute. Here again, there's so much more to this house than the blockage. I mean, they've essentially built a whole wooden house on top of this first-story block house in New York. Here's some more. Chicago, Massachusetts. I mean, look at the different colors of cement. So this guy built this house. This actually doesn't look like 1915, even though we're told this is a 1915 catalog. The way this man or whatever is dressed. And here we can see some people making blocks in Nebraska. Here we go. One block. Very proud. Here's the machine. Here's the cement mixer. And they also sell the cement mixers. Here's one in Florida. So again, every state. I mean, they're just shipping these all over the place. How to order. Here we go, in case you wanted to order. Use a regular order blank form, I guess, mailed with this catalog. Or if you've misplaced it, just use any old damn piece of paper. Be sure to sign your full name and address plainly, so there's no chance for us to make a mistake. Give the full catalog number of the machine or mold you wish to buy. Send your money by post office money order. Again, this catalog was out before the post system was even established. So you can even send it back after 30 days. This machine of at least several hundred pounds. Repairs, great customer service. So here they're breaking down different configurations of the blocks. So you can order design number 1, the shallow rock face, design number 2, design number 3, the heavy rock face. And the funny thing is I see these around, actually, with the holes. I mean, today, just random places in Utah, sometimes vegetation growing in them. Here's some other designs. It's pretty unbelievable, actually. Too much for this horse and wagon people. Look at this. Look at this. And here's the rig. $12.50 for this baby. You dump your concrete and you shut the lid, and I think you give it like a little flip so that all the material settles evenly. Here's parts. You can change out different parts. Pretty amazing. I mean, pretty old-fashioned in a way, and yet pretty advanced and ambitious. Again, that's why I think it may have belonged to the early history of the past people. This is all pretty awesome and pretty impossible to conceive that you're going to be shipping these all over the country. I mean, people don't even have addresses yet. Many people. Concrete blocks for corn cribs. $9.45. Molds. Here we go. We're getting into sweet old world molds. $51 for this adjustable block making outfit. Now look at this thing. This is just that old world steampunk antiquitech craftsmanship. And this is just some concrete apparatus. You can change out the innards to reshape your blocks. All the gears, replacement parts, and this book. I mean, this book really enticing you to not only buy this machine, but showing you how to use it. Here we go. You can see you pack the concrete in here, put these things on top, then you give it a little flip it on its side, and then you pull the block out. There we go. Just pull the block out and make another one.
You guys having fun yet? Maybe not. I don't know. I'm laughing over here. John's cracking me up. Oh, it's hilarious. Yeah.
And let me keep going. Handy two-way brick machine. So we were wondering about where all the bricks came from in the old world. And really, this adds credibility to the idea that it would be impossible to build brick in this time period. Why are they selling machines like this? Because bricks are not readily available, and nor is concrete. They're trying to entice people to use and build with concrete, selling them equipment. Again, you see my point. You see why I'm loving this. I'm loving all of it. Can you imagine buying a brick making machine, even if it makes a dozen at a time, for $43? Here we go. 6 brick machine, just a small one for $16. And look at the ornamental stamps. Look at these stamps again. Is this our world? Are they selling these to people in Kansas with this scroll motif? Something doesn't make sense here. So here we have a mold now for a column. This is where it gets into the columns. The Moneymaker block and porch outfit. $87. Make your own Corinthian columns with this mold. And now this is sick. Again, I looked for something like this recently, and they don't make something like this anymore. This is pretty sick. This is what it would take, and yet being sold by Sears and shipped around by a railroad to be picked up by horse and wagon at a depot? I don't know. How to build a silo with concrete blocks. And here, showing different types of crystals that they recommend using to produce a false granite. Crystals for sparkling concrete work. Pretty advanced. I mean, these people are using outhouses. You think you need a machine like this before you have a toilet? Maybe next time we'll have a look at toilets in the Sears catalog. Or what solution would Sears offer us for this common problem in this time period? So here we have more cement mixers. These things are awesome. Just absolutely awesome. Can't buy one like this today. Here you can buy one like this today with a little motor or pure electric. They cost about $300 today. Really hasn't changed at all. Some of them are made out of plastic, like a plastic drum. 1915, $49. You can see how it operates. I guess this thing will be totally manual. You just mix it by hand, crank this wheel. And here we have an electric one, it looks like. I don't know, $128. Pretty penny for even back then. Probably be like $1,000 today. Power furnished on economy mixers. Here we can see his wheelbarrow, just a pathetic little wheelbarrow. Here's a really complex one. Again, we can see this beautiful motor in this time period. What is this motor running off of? It's chain. Power loading. Furnished complete with a 2.5 horsepower economy gasoline engine with magneto equipment. Shipping weight, here we go, 2,400 pounds. So a little over a ton. Again, you're gonna get this thing home on your wagon? 2,400 pounds?
Yeah.
I think my truck would have a hard time with that. Again, a concrete mixer, $28. Gasoline engines, 1.5 horsepower, $28. Here we have some more molds for chimneys. And again, those photos earlier, nothing looked new. Curbing mold. Here we have some larger column molds. Ionic. Shipment is made directly from factory in central Ohio. And the mold is $33, 12 inches in diameter. And let's just skip to the end here. $728 for the material, except for cement, brick, and plaster, to build this 6-room house. $1 for the plans. Here we go. $19.15. The $1,000 home. And I love it in a way, in theory. And yet, through the lens of this research, I don't really buy it. I think there's something more to it. I think it's a big clue. And I'm afraid that I must call BS on Sears. These are old buildings. So I think I'll leave it here for this week. I hope you've enjoyed.
Old ass
I love
buildings,
you all.
man.
God bless, and I'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for sitting with that. Through that with me, man. Thank you guys. Yeah, I guess that's it, man. I think we covered it all tonight. Let's do it again another day, man. That was a good one. Sears and Roebuck's, man. I bought a ton of shit from them back in the day. My dad did too, man. We had the catalog. Did you guys have? You're probably too young to have the catalog. But yeah, we didn't have the internet. We had the catalog, Sears catalog. It was great, man. And then you could just go down to Sears and get it. You're like, oh shit, it's in the catalog. And just go down there and they had it right there. It was great. At least when I was a kid. Yeah, 110 years ago. I don't know about that, man. The cement mixers and all that shit getting shipped. That's pretty crazy, man. It's pretty crazy, man. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for hanging. We'll do it again. I appreciate the time. All right, carry on. Carry on with the truth, man. Hey, we flattened those NASA pictures tonight. That was cool. That was awesome.